Hello funky gamers and welcome to this week's video. I'm your host Daddee-Cree and today we're going to be talking about the most epic battle in all of video game history. One that is certain to split even the most avid of platform fanboys. So we're not talking about Xbox versus PlayStation here. We're talking about physical versus digital. But who's the real hero in all this?
Let's get it on!
Let's have a look at the advantages of each of them. So in physical media, you get yourself a nice box with some nice, beautiful artwork, and some of them are real works of art. And you sometimes even get a limited edition, which might come with a steel book or some kind of collectible. Some of them even reaching absolutely ridiculous prices. But when you miss out on a limited edition or a limited run, you almost feel like you've missed out on the full experience of what other people are actually getting. And there's the excitement about getting a physical disc, whether that be arriving in the post or whether it be you're just been out to the shops and bought it and you can't wait to get it home. I actually remember even being a kid and buying a game, and on the way home in the bus, I'd take the wrapper off, I'd open up the box, I'd be reading the instructions manual, and the excitement just building and building the closer to home that I got. I remember putting the tape in. Yes, I know I do not look old enough to remember my Commodore 64 cassette tapes and the loading times, but it's true. And then you've got the resale value of physical games, or you can build a collection. So whether you want to sell the game on after you've finished with it, build an entire collection spanning every wall of your gaming room, and never ever ever get yourself a girlfriend or boyfriend, because everybody knows the most effective form of contraception known to man is a large game collection. With physical games, at least you have these options that you simply never will with digital games. So what are the advantages of digital games? Are they the evil that physical buyers make them out to be? Well, other than being able to hide your obsession from any potential lovers, there's a storage space needed. Now, if you don't have a dedicated gaming room or ample space because there's strange lady things like scatter cushions.
Scatter cushion, scatter cushion, scatter cushion, scatter cushion.
There's no room for hundreds or even thousands of games and boxes. Then there's the console cost. An example of this is the PlayStation 5. The digital version is £100 cheaper than the physical version. On the Xbox side of things, the Xbox Series S, which is a little bit less powerful as well, is £200 cheaper than the Series X. Now, even £100, that's the equivalent of an entire year of PlayStation Plus Extra, which gives you access to hundreds of games, all digital of course. You can also, with digital games, play anywhere that you're signed into. So if you do actually still have any friends that also haven't grown up, you can play your games at their houses just by simply signing in on their console. You don't need to take an entire suitcase full of games with you. You can play on a second console if you have one, say, in another room of your house, or another device. For example, the PlayStation Portal. If you have one of those, you can't put discs in it, and it can only stream from either PlayStation Plus Premium or play a game that's installed on your console. But if you have all your games on disc, your Portal can only play the one disc that's inside your console. Not a very good solution if you want to take that travelling with you. Imagine that, having to phone up your partner or your mum and asking them to change the disc. And then there's another aspect of digital, which is the one main reason why I buy digital games, and that's game sharing. Yes, with a physical disc, you can hand over your disc to somebody to share that game with them, but that's not really sharing. What I mean is actually being able to play with a friend or family member that's in another room or even another city. If I wanted to play FC25 or any other multiplayer game with my son, I no longer need to buy 2 copies of that game. I simply buy one and make sure that I have my PlayStation or my Xbox account signed in on his console. You can also switch from one game to another in an instant with digital games. One minute I can be racing around Forza Horizon 5, the next I could be playing FC25 online with my son, and then switch back to Forza, and the game will quick resume at the exact same point I left it, without any faffing around with discs or losing progress. And with physical games, you do need to worry a little bit if the disc was to get damaged or rot in some kind of way. Or like one time before, I left the room for 2 minutes to walk back in and see a 5-year-old child sitting there with every disc out of its box, chewing on one of them, a second disc forced into the slot in the console. And yes, that actually happened to me. And now with the download speeds that I get, it's faster for me to download a game than install it from a disc. It took me 12 minutes to install 75 gigabytes on Avowed. It took only 6.5 minutes to install the 32 gigabyte file of Dead Space Remake. But like with everything, there's pros and cons to the cost of both. When they're new out, they're about the same price. But if you're savvy and can wait, then there's sales on both forms. With digital, you can get them even cheaper with PlayStation Stars credits and Xbox points and vouchers from the places that I've linked into the description here. It doesn't have to be a war. Different things suit different people. I hope neither side actually wins. I still want to see people arguing about this in another 15 years' time. And I want your thoughts in the comments on what you prefer. And if you have made it this far in the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And until next time, I've been Daddee-Cree, and you've been watching FunkyPlayBox.